Hi friends! Today we will learn about future tense. So let's start. We use future tense to write or speak about things that may happen or will happen in the future. For example, I will practice in the race. She will sing for us. Present tense and past tense that we have already learned have their own verb forms. For example, let's go for a walk. Here, the verb is go, and go is the base form of the verb go, which is used for present tense. They went for a movie. Here, the verb is went, which is the special word for the verb used for depicting past tense only. But the future tense does not have its own verb forms. So, in order to create a future tense, a modal auxiliary, and auxiliary verbs, modal auxiliaries and auxiliary verbs both are forms of helping verbs, where modal auxiliaries are can, could, may, might, must, shall, should, will, would. And auxiliary verbs are forms of to, am, are, is, be, been, being, was, were. Forms of have, had, has, have, having. Forms of do, did, does. So we make future tense using these modal auxiliaries and auxiliary verbs. Let's have examples. Dad will be making pizza for us tonight. Jane might get late for the party tonight. She should complete her homework by evening. I must look good in the party tonight. So we have used base forms of the verb along with modal auxiliaries and auxiliary verbs in order to form future tense. Now we will be learning types of future tenses. Future tense can be a simple future tense, future continuous tense, future perfect tense, future perfect continuous tense. So let's first learn about simple future tense. We use simple future tense to talk about something that may happen anytime in the future and also that may happen only once. In the simple future tense, we use the base form of the verb along with a modal auxiliary like will. So the formula for forming a simple future tense is modal auxiliary will along with verb in the base form. Let's have examples. I will eat a pizza for dinner. Here, will is a modal auxiliary and eat is the base form of the verb eat. And we have written a simple future tense that shows something that will happen in the future, but not at any fixed time and will happen only once. Here we have another example. You will definitely clear exam this year. Here again, we have used a modal auxiliary will and base form of the verb clear. And we have created a simple future tense that expresses an action that will happen anytime in the future and will happen only once. Here we have another example. I will go to church in the evening. Here we have used modal auxiliary will and base form of the verb go. Now let's learn another type of future tense, which is future continuous tense. This tense is used for depicting things or actions that will be continuously happening in the future. For depicting the future continuous tense, we use a modal verb, a modal auxiliary, and a verb ending with ing. Here we have examples. Dad will be making pizza for us tonight. So we have used modal auxiliaries, auxiliary verb, and present participle form of the verb, that is, verb along with ing. Here we have some more examples. I will be playing chess with my dad tonight. I will be leaving for airport at 8 p.m., so come before that. She will be studying at 6 p.m., so we will go to her to play at 4 p.m. So these were examples of future continuous tense. Now let's learn about future perfect tense. If we are talking about two things that will happen in the future, future perfect tense is used to talk about the thing that will happen first. For example, she will have completed her homework if we go to her house at 8 p.m. So we are talking about two things that will happen in the future. One is, she will have completed her homework. And other is, if we go to her house. And the first thing that will happen in the future is expressed in future perfect tense. She will have completed her homework. This part is future perfect tense, which is formed using will, have, and third form of the verb, complete. Here we have another example. I will have cleaned my room by the time my mom reaches. So here again, we are talking about two actions that will happen in the future, and the action that will happen first is expressed in future perfect tense. I will have cleaned my room. This is future perfect tense. And this action will happen first in the future, out of the two things that will happen in the future. So, a sentence written in future perfect tense has subject plus will plus have plus the past form of main verb. Here we have another example. By the end of next year, we will have shifted to our new house. Here again, we are talking about two things that will happen in future, and the thing that will happen first is expressed in future perfect tense. We will have shifted to our new house. This action will happen first in the future. Now, let's learn about future perfect continuous tense. This tense is used to describe the progressive action that will happen until a certain time in the future. In order to form this sentence, we use modal auxiliary, primary auxiliary, being, and first form of the verb along with ing. Let's learn with the help of examples. By 2025, we will have been studying in school for 10 years. So, this sentence shows a progressive action that will happen till 2025. And we have used modal auxiliary will, primary auxiliaries have and been, and continuous form of the verb which is studying. So, it is, by 2025, I will have been studying in school for 10 years. Here we have another example. Before our stopover in Hong Kong, we will have been traveling for over 12 hours. We have again depicted a continuous or a progressive action that will happen until a certain time in the future. Here we have another example. By the end of next year, Bill have been working in the company for 5 years. Again, you can notice that we have described a continuous or a progressive action that will happen until a certain time in the future. And we have used modal auxiliary will, primary auxiliary have, been, and continuous form of the verb work, working. So friends, we have learned about all types of future tense. Now let's revise the rules. For simple future tense, we use modal auxiliary will, and base form of the verb, for example, will go. And for future continuous tense or future progressive tense, we use the modal auxiliary, will, and base form of the verb along with ing. For example, we will be going. Future perfect tense. For future perfect tense, we use modal auxiliary, will, auxiliary verb, have, and third form of the verb. For example, we will have watched the movie by then. Next is future perfect continuous tense. In this, we use modal auxiliary, will, auxiliary verb, have been, and first form of the verb along with ing. For example, by the end of next year, we will have been living here continuously for 5 years. So friends, today we learned a lot about types of future tense. Now you need a lot of practice, so go ahead and take a quiz. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and share this video. And if you want to see more fun videos, you can hit that subscribe button. You can also follow us on Facebook and Instagram for more content. Bye-bye!